Hi everyone, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata Di. This video is going to be really very important. Rajeeve Kaushik sir हमारे साथ हैं because today is going to be a case study and this was a very heart touching story for me. I'll share that story first of all, sir, and then we will live to know ki what should be the exact thing that you should do. First thing is, guys, this is going to be a controversial video where we'll be challenging your parenthood. Maybe we'll say कि भाई ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. Where you'll feel, oh, we don't trust our parents. How can that be possible? There are going to be a lot of question marks coming, but the validity remains because these things have happened with a lot of people. So please watch this video carefully till the end. So one day, while I was selling as a chief engineer, my second engineer, I could see his face was very gloomy, very sad. So I asked him what has happened. So since we were selling for the last 4 to 5 months together, he was equally comfortable with me. So he said, "Sir, मुझे आपसे कुछ ज़रूरी बात करनी है. I have to talk to you." मैंने बोला, बोलो. कहता है, यहाँ नहीं sir. In your cabin. We entered there and he was good at his work. And he started crying profusely. I asked him, बेटा क्या? I asked him, भाई, what happened? I tried to console him and everything. Then he said, sir, मैं घर से बहुत परेशान हूँ. Sir, I'm very sad with the house affairs going on. मैंने बोला, what happened? कहते सर, since the time I was fourth engineer to till the day today, whatever I have earned, I have invested in my family property, in my family house, everywhere out there. I never thought कि ये कुछ अलग होगा. So whatever corpus was there, I invested in my father's house and father's land. I never thought कि मुझे property अपने नाम पे लेनी है. I never thought that I have to buy the property on my own name. It was in my family's name, my father's name. Never bothered. And so today, it's been 1 year that my younger brother has also got married, and now the things at my home are not good. मतलब आपसे कैसे बोलूँ कि अभी सर ऐसा नहीं है कि we can stay together anymore because things have gone really bad. So now separatism is coming out. So I will have to separate. And now when I am asking for my rights, my parents are aligning with the brother, my younger brother, who is the weaker link. So he does not have a job of his own. He enjoys a lot. Today also he is not stable. And whatever I had invested, today is going to him. So sir, I am on ground zero after so many years. And I really do not understand whether my parents ever loved me or not. So, sir, what should he have done? And I guess this kind of mistake can happen with a lot of other people. Sorry for making it a long video, but this is a true story. So, sir, I would love to know from you, because this is going to be a controversial topic. At one side, it can be कि भाई don't trust your parents. It can be don't trust because your brother. And on one side, there are a lot of things. So, sir, let's just start.
Yeah, I have made your job very easy actually, because in the book that I have written, now most of this book was written when I was on board. After I came on off the ship, I never got time to even revise the book. So in that, the first thing that is there is a seafarer's story. This story was made after experiencing at least 20 years or 22 years of on-board experiences of different people. Not only in North India or this particular area where we stay, but all over the country, all states, and also few of outside the country, whether they were in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Indonesia, even Philippines. The situation was quite same. Exactly what you described. I will not like to repeat the story. But I would like to start from the scratch. That when a 17-year-old kid goes out from home to the college, the parents, if he's the, let's consider that he's the eldest child, girl or boy, doesn't matter. Now the family is happy that he has succeeded out of a competition and is getting a seat in a very respectable college. Suddenly the family finances are stretched because till yesterday that expenses were up to certain level. Now it has to suddenly increased. Now this is of personal experience because when I went to DMAT first time, my father was a government in state government. He was a doctor in state government and was earning at par salary with whatever was respectable that time. But even he did not have sufficient money to pay my initial joining fee in DMAT, which was 4,300 rupees that time. The money was borrowed from my grandmother, which he did not return at any time. But I tried to return it with my first salary that I got, which was less than this money. I am particularly telling you the figures because it is important to have these figures. Because that is the way life was, and somehow, even the parents nowadays, that I'm also coming to that parent category, we have not understood finances. The way modern finance stands, it is very important that things stay with the person in their own name. If it is not, then there are things which will matter in terms of taxation. So we will approach it from an official angle rather than approach it from an angle which can become questionable or subjective, that should we or should we not. When this person, he completes his college, whether it's engineering or navigation, and he goes on board, let's say he goes as a junior officer, he or she, we'll use the word she, goes as a junior officer. They start getting the salary. It is a very common psychology that he tries to bring up the standard of the family first by giving them some gifts. I bought a sari with my first salary for my mother and I sent it from Chennai via insured post. Everybody likes to do that. I got t-shirts for my brothers and sisters, and first time my family ever saw a music system, small one. So everybody, nowadays things have gone a little higher and the consumer expenses are a bit higher. Now, it is very important to understand, especially now, a lot of money is required to complete your exams. So, concentrate in accumulating that money, because otherwise, you will have to ask for this money from your parents still, because you are earning, but still your money may not be sufficient to pull you, especially if somebody has joined on board as a cadet. So, whatever one earns, one must keep it in his name, under his account. We have always been talking about NRE, NRO, because otherwise, once the thing starts, that what does it end? Where does it end? Now, by the time he completes his master's or chief engineer's exam, it's already some time. And it has been so much time that he would have definitely purchased a land or a house, because the house that we normally stay, we all come from middle class, one likes to buy a bigger house. Because you're on board, who will sign the documents? So it is not the intent of the family, the parents, or that they should keep it in their name or the brother's name. It is a matter of convenience. Suppose this property was bought when a person got married. Suppose you were married. Then this could have been purchased in your wife's name. She would have been present there to sign it. But then we also know a few officers who would not like to do that. Then who, when you are on board, how will this property get purchased? In your name. Legally, it should be in your name. That is, the law is coming to your help now, because otherwise it will become a benami. Something which you cannot buy through your relatives also. That's to be understood. Like NRIs can't buy agricultural land. That is one thing for sure. So now, considering that the assets were purchased in the family name, and later on, when naturally the living standard, most of the time, I will not say always, will be such that the younger sibling, the younger brother, will not be earning as much as the elder one. Now, in my story in the book, I have also written that it is the elder brother's wife who will spend for the family. He will look after the parents, her own children, the children of the younger sibling, because both of the husband and wife might be working. And after some time, when they're living together, will become simply difficult because the physical space is small. So one needs to go out. So to avoid all these things, it is important that at the outset, understanding is made that money will stay invested in your name. Whatever is the requirement of the parents or the brothers should be met proportionately from you as well as their own accumulated. Whatever. The house has to be purchased, no problem, it should be purchased in your name. And even if after some time it has to be left, like I have said in my story, that the house was in the name of the younger son or the parents, but you had to leave it. Even then, it is not a wrong deal, at least it is in your name. But only for the sake of convenience, you are having to leave it. But legally, things should be in your name. I have always insisted in my book that you should be able to make choices. The choice should be yours whether to help or not. That choice will definitely depend upon your upbringing, That choice will also depend upon your economic standing. That choice will also depend whether you are in the position to help or not. If all these things are talked during the time, I have also failed in these at few moments. But I'm very lucky that my father, those time rules were not so clear, and he could buy the land in my name, agricultural land, even though I was a non-resident, with my brother signing for instead of me, but still the property was mine. So I was always very lucky that all these matters were compartmentalized, and that is the way we were taught, that whatever is yours is yours. It doesn't mean you have to restrict yourself. But there's a very simple example. When you are in the aircraft ready to fly, the air hostess will always say, first put your own mask and then help the child. Imagine, the child is the most precious thing for a mother, but it says no. In case of emergency, first pull your mask and then help. So if you yourself don't know how to swim, if the other person is there in the pool, he will try to pull you also with him. So it is very important that you make a very wise choice in finances. Try to invest by your philosophy, as what we have been understanding, as what we have been making all these videos. I have been talking for last 20-25 years. You make your choice, even if that choice does not match your parents' outlook or your brother's outlook. At least your money is growing. When your money grows, you should be able to help. I have a choice. I have so many times told, and I can tell it openly, that I have one mutual fund which I am investing in since 2005. This mutual fund is only to help my relatives. And I have helped quite a few of them, which I should not be saying here, but it was a choice. All the same, I did not stretch my finances to go out and help them. My own choices were restricted to somebody's in a family getting sick, somebody needing education, for that matter, or if the financial condition was very bad, then for the daughter's marriage only.
That's it.
Those were my choices when it came to my relatives, not only just my parents or who actually never needed my help, or my brother or my siblings, not accept them, beyond them. But everything should be done out of choice. When you do things out of your choice, out of your clear understanding and your prudence, then you don't repent. The problem with this person who has come to you, your second engineer, or the story that I have written, is that these people were themselves unsure of their finances. They were unsure of their status in life. They did not take pride that I have started earning, so I must start in valuing this money and start saving and investing it in a good way, so that it grows up like a tree, so that when the fruits come, I can distribute with everybody. The amount that we earn on ship is tax free, and we earn so much that if we invest it in a very judicious way, we can actually grow it so much that we are able to help with this limited amount for everybody who deserves.
Who deserves?
A very important point here must be that if tomorrow you have money, you have a lot of money. I mean, by God's grace, everybody should have so much money that he is able to help everybody. But if you will stand outside on the crossroad and say, does anybody need help with money? There is not one person in the city who will say no. But if you start making a choice that who deserves my help, the choice will narrow down quite a bit. Because it is a very old saying that if you give a person a fish, you will feed him for 1 or 2 days. But if you teach him to fish, he will never be hungry for the rest of his life. So we must make everybody realize that they have to look after themselves in terms of finances. Parents are people who have given birth to us. We owe our existence to them. You can keep earning whole of your life and keep serving them. With money, you can never pay off. But there are other ways by which you can look after your parents. And believe me, your parents do understand that how much they can do. But they also have a restricted choice. They see that one son is not doing so well, the other is doing so well. They cannot quantify how much you should help them. And the person who is being helped also should appreciate it. While watching this video on our Telegram group, there are 6 people I know who are misusing their finances by helping the younger sibling beyond their budgets. 6 people I know